Welcome to the teaching portion of ECE Summer Camp Day 2. Today we're going to look at some activities with Marvelous Math. We're going to eat a snack together. We will do a quick learning Who Me, an early childhood teacher, and we're going to look at the question, what do early childhood education classrooms look like? Then we're going to do another activity session of magnificent manipulatives, and we will end the day with our review meeting. So, marvelous math. Key things that I want our campers to take away from marvelous math are as follows. Math is everywhere. Students need to understand math to help them in classes at school and in practically every adult job. Young children learn math just like they learn other things. They learn through play. So we're going to focus on some playful activities that will help our students attending camp learn how young children learn math. Math manipulatives and games are key tools for teaching math to preschoolers. So we're going to have a bunch of manipulatives for our students to play with and learn about math education for young children. Children's development is supported in many ways when they learn math in early childhood education. First of all, problem solving, understanding shapes, colors, numbers, more and less, bigger, smaller, etc. Those are all math concepts in early childhood math. They're going to develop fine motor skills as they work with the various math manipulatives. They're going to learn about following directions as a teacher perhaps gives them directions on how to use something. And they're going to learn how to share and cooperate with each other. The way that we are going to learn about the early childhood teacher's role in math. First of all, it's to set up a math exploration area in their classroom, complete with math manipulatives, attractive signs, and more, just to make it an inviting spot for children. They're going to also ask children key questions to help them think about what they're doing in the math area. Additional things that the early childhood teacher does is they're going to talk with children to help them learn concepts such as colors, shapes, sizes, patterns, counting, comparing quantities, etc. So the early childhood teacher tends to be a talker because that's how children are going to learn different kind of definitions and different vocabulary words and more. When teachers talk with children, children learn new vocabulary. Another thing teachers do is they model ways to play with materials. Sometimes children in your classroom aren't sure just what they're to do with materials, and they look to their teachers for showing them how materials are to be used. So teachers serve as examples or models for their students. And teachers are going to do math stuff with their kids to help them learn about math. Math stuff might be as simple as taking a walk around your neighborhood and counting the number of children that you have and repeatedly counting the number of children to make sure everybody is with you. So that is one kind of math stuff. Another math stuff might be taking that walk and looking for various signs and learning about triangles and rectangles and circles and colors and more. So math stuff happens everywhere, every day. Our plan for Marvelous Math, we have several math manipulatives set up throughout their classroom that our students will use. They're going to take turns being a preschooler and being a preschool teacher, helping children learn math concepts while they engage with the manipulatives. They're also going to work as a team to complete several team activities, such as measuring classroom objects, but not measuring using a tape measure, something that we might use. They're going to string together some links in a chain or use math cubes to measure various things in our classroom. The other thing I asked them to do in our plan is to think of what you could do as a preschool teacher to help your students develop good attitudes towards math and good confidence in their math abilities. Sometimes math is kind of viewed as ooh, I don't like that subject by our high school students, but we want them to have a really good attitude toward helping children develop positive attitudes towards math. And think about what math stuff you're learning as you play. Are you learning colors? Are you learning how to count? Are you learning how to create a pattern, how to sort by shape or color, etc.? So as children or as our students, our campers are using the math manipulatives, I want them to think about what young children would learn through those various activities. After that little presentation on math, we will spend time doing the math, and then after that we will have snack, and then we'll roll into our second in the series of Who Me, an early childhood education teacher. And this one focuses on what do early childhood classrooms look like. With this one, I have a lot of pictures. So what do they look like? First of all, the classroom furniture is sized for young children. So we see a smaller table, smaller chairs on the right, and a little couch and a little chair on the left. So we want to make the furniture such that kids will fit in it well. Another part of them is they have places that meet children's physical needs. So pictured on the left there are some toddler cots. A need for young children is to rest while they're at school. So cots are an important thing. Another need for infants and toddlers is the diaper change. So I have pictured here a changing table as well as a thing above it where diapers and wipes and that kind of stuff are stored. We also want classrooms to have places to play and to learn. So pictured on the left would be kind of a kitchen set that might be in a dramatic play area of a classroom. And on the right there is a toddler bookshelf. So there are many places for kids to play and learn in early childhood classrooms. There are also toys and learning materials that are stored on low shelves accessible to children. So we want children to gain independence, and independence happens when you can get something off a shelf, you can take it to the carpet or take it to the table and use it, and then you can put it back when you're finished. So we want to make sure that we have low shelves so children can see the choices available, they can get it, use it, learn from it, and put it back when they're finished to be responsible. Early childhood classrooms also have adult-sized furniture and storage too. So pictured on the left here is an example of a rocking chair and a teacher reading a book to a toddler. So we always want to make sure that early childhood classrooms don't just have itty-bitty furniture for children to fit in, but also have things for adults to fit in. And then there's also places where the teacher can store his or her materials as shown in the picture on the right. They're going to have comfy spaces and spaces for messy art. So the picture on the left there shows a cool rug and some little log stools and a couch and a chair and just some nice comfy places where kids can grab a book, maybe grab a stuffed animal, grab a puppet, and enjoy their time there. So it's a soft, comfy space. And then you also want spaces like on the right, and this one we can't really see what the flooring is like, but we would want to have hard floors that are non-porous, easy to wash up. So if kids spill some paint, it's not a big deal. They can help us to clean up the spills. And we also want to have lots and lots and lots of learning materials to support children's learning through play. So pictured here about 6 different things of what we might see in an early childhood classroom. We believe that children learn through play, so we need to give them play materials where they can actually learn. The last slide on this one, I believe, is that you have a variety of interest centers in an early childhood classroom. So it's divided into different kind of activity areas for children. You're going to have a block area for building with blocks and accessories, an art area where you're going to have just a lot of art materials for children to use on an everyday basis, as well as a place where you could do art projects with children. You're going to have a sensory area, probably a sensory table, a reading and writing area, both very important activities for kids to engage in, science and math area, dramatic play where they can do dress up and pretend to be people that they're not, and manipulatives, which are small building toys. So that is just a listing of some of the areas that would be included in an early childhood classroom. And I wanted to include this kind of mini lesson to help our students, our campers, to learn what an early childhood classroom will look like, because it's going to be way different than the middle school or high school classrooms that they are familiar with. After that mini learning, we're going to roll into another activity session. This one's going to be called Magnificent Manipulatives. And manipulatives, first of all, kind of define it, it's just a fancy name for small building toys. Manipulatives are open-ended toys, meaning that children of different ages and abilities are going to use the materials in a way that is appropriate for them. So there's not a right way or a wrong way to build with manipulatives. It's really open-ended based on the child's developmental level and abilities. The ways that manipulatives support children's development include the following. Fine motor development. They're going to develop strength and coordination using their fingers and their hands as they build with things. They're going to be able to plan and be creative as they construct with various building materials. They're going to be solving problems, figuring out how to put things together, how to take things apart, how to balance, how to make something symmetrical. They're going to be color or recognizing colors, counting, sorting, and more. So a lot of ways that kids will learn with manipulatives. And lastly, they're going to be sharing and cooperating with each other as they play together in a community. What does the teacher do in an early childhood classroom related to manipulatives? First of all, they're going to set up an area for children. Could be a table, could be part carpeted space. It's probably going to have a shelf nearby where each of these manipulatives will be stored. Each manipulative or each kind of group of what you have should be in its own labeled container so children can see what's available. They can get a toy by themselves, they can use it, build with it, and when they're finished, they can put it away, which is a way for them to learn how to be responsible. Another role of the teacher is to keep the area fresh by removing the manipulatives that children seem to be bored with and replacing them with new ones. And this really applies to all areas in the early childhood classroom. Kids, when they get bored, that's when we have problems with behavior. So we want to keep things fresh and interesting for kids because that helps them to behave well. Children tend to behave best when they're engaged and not best when they are bored. Some more things the teacher does is they're going to model ways to play with the materials. Sometimes children just aren't sure what to do with manipulatives and they look to their teachers to show them how they may be built with. So teachers are going to be examples for the students. Uh, We're going to build with manipulatives throughout the classroom, which is our first step of our plan for manipulatives. We're going to see how we could use the materials creatively to make some magnificent structures. We're going to think about whether the manipulative can be enjoyed most playing alone or with a friend. And we're going to focus how on the active playing is really the active learning. We, as early childhood professionals, really believe that kids learn through play, so we're going to see how they are learning as they are playing. And that is the end of day number 2. Thank you.